There are hundreds of social cues we need to process every single day, but what happens when we miss them? You've just said goodbye to a new friend and start walking the same way, not knowing to walk faster, slower, or stop and acknowledge it. You've sent a message to a group chat and no one replies, not even a thumbs up emoji. The waiter tells you to enjoy your meal and you say, "You too." All these are awkward moments, and in this video I'm going to go through what is fueling that, how it's actually a good thing, and a perspective that might even leave you as the charismatic love child of James Bond and Penelope Cruz, although one is real and one isn't. Awkward! See how I felt the awkwardness in that? The research shows that when people appropriately acknowledge awkwardness or show remorse for it, they are seen as easily forgivable and worthy of trust. That's weird because most people think that awkwardness is a problem, but having never felt it at all is an even bigger one. Why? Well, the exact same thing that causes awkwardness is what gives us modern humans our undisputed status as top of the food chain, the desire for cooperation. See, awkwardness is social inconsistency. We feel that discomfort that then nudges us back in line with everyone else. In fact, it's one of the many levels of control that keep us Homo sapiens functioning well as a group. At the most basic level of what stops us doing things, we have fundamental laws of science that stop us doing things like creating a baby out of uranium or splitting an atom with a plastic spoon. Slightly less amusing are laws that stop us overtly hurting each other, but not everything frowned upon is covered here, like if you fart in a taxi, nobody will put you behind bars, although maybe they should. Those limits then come with societal expectations which can vary between places, like it's very different eating with your hands in a Bedouin desert camp compared to a dinner with King Charles, but just behind those limits are the ones we place for ourselves, that of the self-conscious. We choose what to put there, and it's our or other people's deviations from them that make us feel awkward. That's right, our brains carry an unspoken choreography of all the societal expectations we're used to with us and use them to measure both ourselves and the people around us. Like our own awkwardness wasn't enough, there's something called vicarious embarrassment, where we can even feel embarrassed for people that don't even exist. Some people feel this so intensely that they can't even watch cringe-inducing TV programs or slapstick comedy. Get this though, the feeling is pro-social, stemming from a desire to want to help or benefit others. This might seem strange at first, but it's actually a form of empathy. It becomes even clearer though when we mention the opposite of vicarious embarrassment, schadenfreude. That's when people feel a sense of pleasure at someone else's misfortune, like that time I stood up and my pants fell down. That might be amusing, but experiencing that more frequently and intensely is associated with low self-esteem. Talk about that for an Uno reverse card, Kyle. What we've mentioned here though are awkward moments, and we all experience that to some degree, but what's the difference between that and being an awkward person? For an explanation of that, we can look to the man who has a literal PhD in awkward, Tai Tashiro. He explains the root of the word awkward comes from an Old Norse word, ofagur, that means facing another direction. That matches closely with the psychology and even the cause of awkward people because they're focused on something else. If the world is a stage and most people see all of the stage, awkward people have a spotlight on it which is just left of center. That usually means though that they have an incredible talent in another area, even if they miss the social conventions in other ones. Just ask Elon. So what? They might not realize that the standard personal space that makes people uncomfortable is 18 inches forwards and 12 inches sideways. So what? They may not realize that they need to match the average of 80% eye contact with 20% looking away, or need to vary that depending on how intense the situation is, like a steamy date, for example. So what they don't realize that having their arms crossed instead of opened by their sides can come across as uncomfortable or even aggressive. But whether we're an awkward person or just have awkward moments, we can easily play out these interactions longer after they've happened, wondering why evolution decided to skip our social skills and how we'll ever be able to show our face in public again. What did that other person really think of us? Well, more than likely, they're not thinking of us at all, because they're thinking of themselves just like you are. It's called the spotlight effect. See, in the story of our lives, we're all the main characters, with others around us being one-dimensional with a static relationship to us over time. That's why we might get angry at a driver for taking too long at a traffic light, because they must just be an annoying person. Then when we're taking too long at the light, it's because we're juggling too many things, or are still upset because we didn't fit into our suit trousers earlier. The truth is though that everyone around us has a life equally as vivid, full and complex as our own, where we are in fact the background character. The realization of this and our insignificance is called Sonder, and it's both liberating and terrifying. Those awkward moments we thought so closely about don't matter anywhere near as much as we thought they did, because to others we're just insignificant background noise. So we might as well take each situation as it comes, do what we can to fit in, but don't dwell on the times that we don't, because whatever is the center of the universe, it's not us. We are yet a speck on this giant planet Earth. Just in case you're in a level of existential crisis that you can still move with, then have yourself some light relief by watching this video.